If you're not careful, it can be far too easy to get caught up watching videos on social media or on YouTube. You watch one and it leads to the next and leads to the next. And one of the things I ended up watching last week was a succession of videos where parents give their small children a raw egg with no instructions. What will your 14-month-old child do with this fragile object? And I think the idea is that small children, without any prompting, will instinctively be careful. And so if you want to see 9 out of 10 small children caring for eggs, feel free to search out the videos. You'll also get to see the 1 in 10 who throws it against the wall. Normally, if we give small children something so fragile, we'd tell them, wouldn't we? They wouldn't be no instructions. We would say to them, be gentle. It's the cry of mothers as they see toddlers running towards puppies or babies or anything else they might break. Be gentle. But other than warning people not to break stuff, I don't think we use the word gentle very often. Maybe the world we live in isn't very gentle anymore. It's full of people, companies, TV shows and advertisers desperately vying for our attention. And they feel like they need to be in our faces. They can't afford to be gentle because if they're too gentle, maybe our attention and often our money will go elsewhere to someone who's more in our face. I wonder if we're losing the virtue of gentleness. The Bible, however, it regularly instructs God's people to be gentle. Gentleness is part of the fruit of the Spirit from Galatians 5. And Titus 3:1-2 says, remind the people to be subject to rulers and authorities, to be obedient, to be ready to do whatever is good, to slander no one, to be peaceable and considerate, and always be gentle towards everyone. Similarly, Proverbs 15:1 says, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. We live in a time today where more and more people are struggling with their mental health. This was true before the pandemic and now even more so. Our emotional, spiritual and mental energy is stretched thin. Our capacity to cope with all sorts of things has been reduced. And in times like this, it is even more important that we are gentle with one another. That means considering how our words and actions, not just what we do and say, but the way we do and say it, might impact the well-being of others. It doesn't mean that we never challenge anyone else. It doesn't mean that we never disagree with anyone else. Galatians 6:1 says, brothers and sisters, if someone is caught in a sin, you who live by the Spirit should restore that person gently. It's a challenge, it's a confrontation, but it's done gently. So when we challenge, when we disagree, when we confront, we do so gently. When we have ideas or want to make changes, we introduce them gently. When we are angry or upset with someone, we still treat them gently. Like a small child being careful with a raw egg. By being gentle, we can nurture and care for one another. We can build each other up. We can be kind and considerate and loving. The world around us is often forceful, and that can leave us feeling broken. And at a time when all of us are stretched thin, particularly now, as God's people, we are being called to be gentle.